So my name is Michael Twillman. I graduated from Loyola's music industry program in 2009 and recently opened a live music venue here in New Orleans, right down the street on Ferret Street. And this is my first semester teaching as an adjunct, a course called Venue Management and Talent Buying. The biggest thing for us was like the permitting, licenses and stuff like that. And the funding, we fell into that a little bit, maybe easier than most would. We have a partner that we've known for a long time that was always looking to do something like this, so when it came up, it was a pretty easy sell to make the money happen. But we did put together all the professional pro forma statements and proposals and plans and stuff like that. We didn't want to, just because it was someone we knew well, didn't want to not cross our T's and dot our I's. So find the right way to put offers out there that make sense for the bands and that makes sense for the house, so everybody wins. So it's a nice little balancing act that you have to do between not losing too much for the venue and yet still keeping the artist happy with their experience there and the money that they make. Quality on both sides, whether it's for the concert goer or for the musician. There seems to be, especially in New Orleans, a disparity from one side or the other. So you might go somewhere and could be a great concert experience, but musicians had a tough time, or they didn't get paid as well as they should have, or there's a wide variety of things in the back end of things that don't go well, or it could be the other way where everything's great on the musician side of things, but as far as an experience goes, it's so-so. If you're not out there interning and just doing whatever you can get your hands on, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because by the time you graduate, if you haven't done any real world stuff, you're at such a big disadvantage. Nobody wants to just hire someone without any knowing that they've actually done some of this stuff before. So I worked for Ray Hodge Entertainment in their New York City office as an intern. They do Voodoo Fest here. I also interned for Mark Samuels with Basin Street Records. I just did promotions and poster work for various amounts of clubs in town, as well as booked my own shows and put on my own events. The doors that were opened because of Loyola, and there were certain courses where I have trouble placing exactly which class or exactly which professor. George Howard was great for certain things like that, definitely was willing to help get you out there in the real world when you wanted to be, if you were capable. I think this program does a great job at showing both sides of that world, whether it's the business side and the back end side of things, where you need to know how you should carry yourself and whether or not you're doing things properly, or you're getting screwed, or whatever, however you want to put it. But it shows you that world, as well as like, okay, as a musician, here's that side of things too. So I think it does a great job of combining both business and musicians. I feel like the program really pushed me individually and pushed a lot of people to take that entrepreneurial step and get out of the classroom and go do it, and that I wouldn't have the venue now if that weren't the case. The pace of this city is slow enough to where, as a student, you really can get yourself into something and something significant. And one of the biggest reasons, some of the best advice I was ever given in this town was, if you just do what you say you're going to do and pull through on it, you're like 90 to 100% further ahead than most people are here, because the city really does embody the Big Easy. People move really slow, and things don't always get done the way they should or when they should. So if you're able to actually get some things done, you've got a leg up. And I think as a student, the city really lends itself to getting a leg up as a student, whereas I think it might be a little harder to get yourself into a certain scene or business in another city that's a little more established with who does what.